If you like a challenging roguelike with a lot of build variety, this is the one for you. It is very promising and may even dethrone Brotato in the bullet hell genre. I'm Surma and let me tell you about Tiny Rogues. Tiny Rogues combines RPG elements with a bullet hell to create a unique and challenging fantasy dungeon crawler. Priced at just $10, Tiny Rogues offers hours of fun and addictive gameplay, even in its early access state, with frequent updates and planned expansions in most areas. It has a pixel art or rather arcade art style that could have come from the 90s, but even if you don't like it, the game has a lot to offer in terms of presentation. There are lots of great sound effects and great background music. It runs very smoothly and all attacks are clearly telegraphed, although your screen can get quite cluttered with the text to dodge. But I guess that is normal for bullet hell games on higher difficulty settings. You start each run by choosing a character or rather a class to play as. Your choices are limited at first, but you can unlock many more characters by completing achievements. Each class has its own playstyle and perks, which you can also take advantage of by selecting a starting item. You then start in the first room on the first floor. Each floor has 10 rooms, and to win the run you need to defeat the boss on floor 10. After the first floor, these floors are selected semi-randomly from a pool of over 20 floors. Each floor has its own set of enemies and bosses to defeat. There are over 40 boss fights, as each floor has multiple bosses that you can face one at a time. As you progress through the rooms, you will come across various events, enemies and shops. When you successfully complete a room, you will be rewarded with loot that can potentially improve your build. After each room, you will be given a choice of 2 rooms to go to. Both will show the rewards they have for you. These rewards include, but are not limited to, gear, weapons, consumables and stat boosts. Most of the time you'll want to collect them all to complete your build. Stat boosting consumables are very important, as they also give you experience, and from time to time you will level up, which allows you to choose a new perk for your character, further increasing the build variety. As in typical RPGs, your character has 3 main stats: strength, intelligence and dexterity. These give you various bonuses, but most importantly they are the main source of your weapon damage. Each weapon scales differently with these stats. For example, a bow will usually scale with dexterity and a staff will usually scale with intelligence. However, there are so many different and unique weapons that this is not always the case. You can even summon companions to help you fight enemies. After each run, successful or not, you will receive some meta progression as experience for your talent tree. This tree slightly reduces the difficulty of future runs, allowing you to heal once more for example, but is mainly there to help you influence the direction of the build you want to achieve. To unlock more achievements and get an even tougher challenge, you can increase your Cinder level, which is similar to Hades' heat level. Adding more modifiers will make the next run significantly harder, but will also give you a bit more meta currency. These Cinder modifiers can be anything from a smaller inventory to random boss enchantments that increase the difficulty of boss encounters. There are a lot of attacks to dodge, especially in the later levels, and it hurts a lot to get hit in this game, as you usually only have 1 to 3 lives. Also, the amount of healing you can get is very limited, which makes any mistake quite punishing. This is counteracted somewhat by the fact that each character has a dodge that makes you invulnerable for a short time and moves you a short distance. This dash recovers after a few seconds, and you can even get more than 1 dash from items and other pickups to chain the iframes together. With all these abilities at your disposal, you have all the tools you need to defeat every boss on every floor and conquer the entire game, limited only by your personal gaming skills. Just a quick reminder, if you want to see more reviews like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And now back to the next chapter. The game is hard, even on the lowest difficulty setting. You have to dodge a lot of attacks and learn a lot of attack patterns. Especially new bosses at the beginning can be quite challenging. Not all characters are the same, which means that not only are some more difficult than others, but some are much more boring than others as well. The early ones are particularly dull. The characters you unlock later even have special level up talents that only that character has. This makes them much more interesting. It should be noted that the meta progression in Tiny Rogues is quite limited, so don't expect much help killing the toughest enemies. You're not expected to die in your first few runs to earn enough meta currency to unlock new perks that will help you beat the game. The progression system is completely optional, and you can beat the game on your first run, if you're skilled enough. The aforementioned Cinder system allows for a highly customizable level of difficulty and is, in most cases, quite exciting and fun. You have to think a lot more, for example, about which item to keep when your inventory is smaller. However, some of the modifiers are much more thoughtful than others, and others can sometimes feel a bit luck-based. Characters and traits seem fairly balanced, and can shine with the right build. Not all weapons have the same attack pattern, which is fine, but some seem a little harder than others, even with the right build. A lot of these items are very unique and sometimes even bizarre and legendary, but you never feel like the RNG is the reason you lost the run. Overall though, the game is very fun with all characters and can be the most challenging roguelike you will play in a long time if you activate all the Cinder levels. The game does not really have a story. You can interact with a lot of NPCs and all the bosses talk to you in text boxes, but there is no big overarching story that dictates the gameplay. The latest major update added a few more choices to your character's alignments, ultimately allowing you to go to heaven, hell or somewhere in between. The atmosphere is quite exciting, however, as the music and sound effects make it very immersive to experience the environment of the current floor. At the current early access stage, Tiny Rogues has 34 characters to unlock and play, over 500 different pieces of equipment and gear, and over 400 different weapons. This variety is further enhanced by over 100 unique character level up perks or traits. No two runs will ever feel the same. The game is highly customizable in terms of aiming, difficulty and build crafting. I've now played the game for just under 50 hours and there's still a lot more to explore, as I haven't even unlocked all the characters yet. If you are not put off by arcade-style graphics and are looking for a new and challenging roguelike, then Tiny Rogues is for you. It's one of the few games that puts fun above all else, and that's true for almost every feature of the game. It values your time, and the highly customizable features let you decide how you want to spend your time in this game. It has a huge amount of variety and is still fun after tens of hours of play, so it is definitely worth the money, even if it's not on sale. It is a punishing game in which your skill matters far more than any unlocks you get, and is not for everyone. However, people who like to improve by increasing their personal skills will enjoy Tiny Rogues very much. So in conclusion, if you are at all interested in what I've said in this video, you should give this game a try. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.